Nikki, Victor, Sharon, and Nick arrive at the garden of Dumas estate. They marvel as they realize it's a maze. Carter, Dumas' assistant, explains that at the center of the maze, they'll find lunch and an itinerary for the day. Sharon smiles warmly. What a wonderful idea. Nick looks skeptical. Is it? Sharon encourages him to admit it's unique. Victor is told by Carter that Dumas will join his guests once everyone has arrived. Carter invites them politely, please enter. Victor mentions they were on the train with Billy and Sally. Where are they? Carter explains they've gotten a head start as they hear their voices coming from within the maze. Inside the maze, Sally thinks they might be a little turned around. Billy jokes that maybe Victor will take a while to find his way through. Sally feels like she's in a whimsical storybook. Billy marvels at how elaborate everything is. Sally thinks Dumas wants everyone to enjoy themselves. Billy agrees, saying it will be an interesting few days. Billy and Sally continue until they reach the center of the maze. They admire the elegantly set table and buffet of food. Sally gushes over the charming details and vibrant colors. This is just the beginning. Who knows what's next? Billy reminds her he's the only one who spoke to Dumas. He makes a lighthearted comment about Victor and then announces he's starving. They debate whether to start eating or wait. Sally insists on waiting, so Billy keeps busy by sharing a sweet moment with her. In the maze, Nikki complains that her shoes aren't the best for walking through a maze. Sharon encourages her to think of it as an adventure, which earns a playful glare. Victor guides Nikki to a bench to rest and her marks. This is quite unusual. He wonders who Dumas is trying to impress. Sharon thinks Dumas is encouraging them to relax and not take things too seriously. Nick notes that a lot of effort clearly went into making things interesting. Plus, he's eager to find the food. Let's go. He and Sharon head off. Nikki asks Victor what he thinks of all this. Is it friendly or something else? They admire the theatrics. Victor feels Dumas is trying to make a strong impression. Nikki senses Victor has a plan. She's curious. He smirks. In due time. As they continue through the maze, Sharon and Nick reminisce about a hay bale maze they once built for Faith's school. She tells him he's a good father and a good man. Nick appreciates the compliment. Thanks for saying that. It means a lot. At the center of the maze, Billy takes photos to capture the moment. One of the most private billionaires in the world is about to reveal himself. This is great for Abbott Communications. Sally tells him he's brilliant. He replies she's the most wonderful part of the day. They joke around about the food again. Sally finds a distraction and pulls him aside for a quick affectionate moment. Sally comments on how they're staying in luxury train cars rather than at the estate itself. As Nick and Sharon near the food, Nikki and Victor reappear. Nick is impressed they caught up so quickly. Victor admits he's getting tired of this. Nick jokes about being so hungry he could eat a horse. Victor thinks this is Dumas' way of testing their patience. They can't let it get to them. Off they go again, with Nick muttering, "Pretty sure we already went this way." Eventually, they arrive at the center, and Billy pops out. "Victor, I thought you'd never make it." Victor laughs, "Billy boy." Billy teases, "Are you slowing down, old man?" Nikki frowns, "That was uncalled for." Victor teases him back for being out of breath. Billy reminds him that Dumas reached out to him. Victor wonders if it's a setup. Billy keeps joking, so Nick tells him to calm down. Nikki warns Victor and Billy to put aside their differences for the trip. Victor thinks Billy might be in over his head. Billy counters that Victor acts like he's the center of attention, but he doesn't have all the answers either. Victor says they'll see about that. Jack, Diane, and Kyle arrive at the train car and read a welcome note from Dumas. Jack is curious what the main event will be. Diane thinks it sounds like a challenging competition. Jack says if it happens, they'll be ready. Diane wants to relax and enjoy this, but admits she's worried things might get complicated. Jack says all three families will do whatever is needed to protect what matters to them. He suspects Dumas might be encouraging a bit of friendly rivalry. Kyle reads a quote about hope and patience from the Count of Monte Cristo. Jack wonders if they should hope for a change in Victor Newman's fortunes. Kyle says he'd be interested to see that happen. Jack repeats that they can and will handle anything the mustache throws their way. Kyle would never do anything to upset Claire, but it would feel good to see Victor humbled. He hopes Dumas will help make that happen. Diane wonders if they're the first to arrive. Jack says they're not. He noticed Nikki's perfume as soon as they entered the train car. This annoys Diane, but before she can say anything, Audra appears. Bonjour, everyone. Kyle asks if she wouldn't rather ride in her private sleeping car. Audra says this is perfect. What better way to start their friendly competition? This is going to be so much fun. Audra moves around the train car and asks why they haven't opened the sparkling wine yet. They all look like they're at a serious event. Kyle says there's a lot to consider. Audra's just glad he changed his mind and decided to come. She jokes about him wanting to stay home and hold his girlfriend's hand. Diane points out Cole has pneumonia. Audra apologizes, but says all she can think about is their marketing plan to give the world some excitement. People will love it. Will they be Team Kyle or Team Audra? Either way, they'll enjoy it and buy both perfumes. What's not to love? Noticing Kyle's quiet, she hopes his parents haven't talked him out of this. Kyle's ready for the challenge, but notices a look between his parents. Audra opens the champagne, and she and Kyle toast as they exchange playful banter. Diane wants to know how Audra got an invitation. She jokes about her professional connections, then says, "I'm kidding. She's well respected in the community." Kyle teases about her being Tucker McCall's assistant. Audra says it's better than being born into the business. Jack is curious what she'll do if she loses. She's confident she won't. Diane reminds them that success takes time. Audra says Dumas is proof of that. Kyle is sure there's more to the story. The train stops. They've arrived. Kyle teases Audra that it's not too late to back out. Audra says she was born for this challenge and is all in. She tells him to underestimate her. It will make winning much more enjoyable. In the center of the maze, Billy and Nick are a bit frustrated that the women won't let them eat until Dumas arrives. Nikki guesses the Abbotts and Winters are still on the train. Billy jokes with Victor about pretending he knows what's going on. Victor laughs, always ready for surprises. At the buffet, Sharon catches Nick grabbing some grapes and stops him. He says the best part about all this is seeing her happy and relaxed. She thanks him again for encouraging her to come. She wishes there wasn't so much tension. It's not just Billy and Victor. Nikki clearly wishes she hadn't come. Nick reminds her his mom will never think anyone's quite good enough for him. Sharon can't wait to see her when Phyllis arrives making a grand entrance. Nick reminds Sharon she's her new best friend. Across the way, Victor reminds Nikki that Sharon has been through a lot. Nikki complains about her coming on this trip. London was supposed to help clear his head. He promised her they're just friends. She'll hold him to it. Victor teases her by saying anything could happen in this charming setting. At the maze's start, Carter declines Kyle's outstretched hand and says he knows who he is. As Carter explains the maze, Audra whispers to Kyle that the man seems very serious. Diane wonders if this is some kind of trick. Jack won't let the Newmans think they backed out. They learn Dumas is still waiting on the Winters and Phyllis Summers to arrive. Jack frowns. Diane asks why Phyllis would be coming. Jack says this is getting more interesting by the minute. In the train car, Phyllis arrives alone and calls, "Hello." She reads the welcome note telling her to wait and hope. She's not the type to wait, but she's reassured by the champagne. Pouring some, she toasts to Dumas. In a study, a man watches her on a video feed. In the maze, Audra leads the way until Diane stops them and says, "We already went that way." Audra argues the point. Jack reminds them they all have to stay calm. Audra suggests splitting up, but Dean doesn't want her alone with Kyle. They keep going with Audra leading and saying, "Try to keep up." In the Maze's center, Billy and Victor continue their playful bickering as Jack and his group arrive. Audra says to Diane, "I told you I knew what I was doing." Carter appears and says, "I bring news." Carter announces that Dumas' flight has been delayed and he won't arrive until tomorrow. He asks to express his apologies and wants them to enjoy the food and drink. Jack asks what time they should expect Dumas tomorrow. Carter simply says, "Good day." Nikki tells Victor she was worried they were invited for a big setup. Victor guesses the story is getting more interesting. In the study, a man continues watching them on a video feed. Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel, Pulse Canvas. It's me, Julie, here. I hope everyone is having a wonderful day. Keep watching, so let's dive into today's video. On the Wednesday, June 18, episode of The Young and the Restless, watch for Danny to offer guidance to Daniel, Chelsea, and Adam to balance business with personal matters, and Tessa to grow impatient with a hesitant Mariah. Daniel has kindly told his mother Phyllis that he prefers to handle his challenges independently as he moves forward in life. However, that doesn't mean he isn't open to parental support when needed. On Wednesday's show, Danny, who has returned to Genoa City, will offer some guidance to his son. Danny is a steady presence in Daniel's life. They share a common interest in music now that Daniel has started guitar lessons with Tessa. Will Danny advise his son about the music world, or will his guidance be more about life in general? Adam and Chelsea have a bit of a break from Victor's influence as he's currently in France with other key figures in Genoa City. Chelsea appreciates that Adam is doing his best to avoid conflict with Billy, as Victor requested. On Wednesday's show, watch for the couple to blend a little business with personal time. Perhaps Adam will find a way to satisfy Victor without disrupting the Abbott family. Chelsea and Adam plan to enjoy their time free from Victor's watchful eye. Who knows what they might come up with now that his attention is elsewhere? Tessa has shown incredible patience lately, not just in teaching Daniel guitar, but in giving Mariah time to be honest about what happened while she was away. Tessa and Mariah have been through a lot together, but they can't move forward unless Mariah is open and truthful. It's clear that Mariah hasn't been able to fully hide that something is going on. She needs to open up, especially since on Wednesday's show, we'll see Tessa reach the limit of her patience with her. Sally is supporting Billy's plan to travel to France for Aristotle Dumas' private party. However, a recent conversation with young and restless head writer Josh Griffith revealed it's going to be a challenging experience for this duo as they try to balance business with personal matters overseas. Initially, Sally was surprised by Billy's suggestion to delay the launch of Abbott Communications in order to attend the exclusive gathering in Nice, but she soon agreed to the idea, even though they were stepping into unfamiliar territory. Having completed her preparations, including both practical and mental adjustments to justify postponing the launch they had already announced, Sally's main concern is Billy's persistent focus on Chancellor, which keeps resurfacing in their conversations. While Sally secured a promise from Billy that they would leave France immediately if things became uncomfortable, Billy's commitment to step back seemed uncertain. He even suggested that instead of leaving early, they might watch the unfolding events and enjoy the experience. Fans of The Young and the Restless were surprised when Sally left her dream job to join Billy's new company. So it's not surprising that tensions arise as Sally grows impatient, noticing that Billy is once again more focused on past issues involving Victor than on building something new and steady. According to Griffith, Sally and Billy will face a turning point where she has to say, "Look, we had this new project, Abbott Communications, moving forward. You can't keep focusing on Chancellor. I'm not willing to sacrifice my future for old matters." Billy believes that Dumas has hinted at a way to help him address these past challenges, but it's starting to create strain in their relationship. Unsurprisingly, Billy's attention will increasingly turn toward resolving what he sees as unfinished business, to the point where Sally becomes frustrated and gives him a clear choice. You've got to offer me something if this is the path you're going to take. We can only assume Billy will promise Sally the CEO job at Chancellor once he's back in charge. Sally believed in his vision for Abbott Communications, but replacing Victor and Nikki from Catherine's former corporation seems overly optimistic. Surely, Sally understands by now that Victor is a very strong competitor, and that Billy's hopes of Dumas supporting his cause are uncertain. Will she allow herself and her future to be tied up in her boyfriend's latest plan, or will she recognize the signs and simply move on? Welcome to the Young and the Restless Daily YAPP for a quick, and by that, I mean you're already halfway through, recap of the most memorable or surprising moments on today's episode. Let's get to it. On The Young and the Restless, the social event has begun at Aristotle Dumas' estate. While guests arrive in groups, they're then politely greeted by Carter and invited to navigate a maze to reach the dining area. Although little is revealed about the host himself, some guests are relying on their senses to get through the experience. Jack could tell that Nikki had already been on the train because of the lingering scent of her perfume. Diane didn't seem to notice anything, but it left her feeling uneasy that Jack was so familiar with his ex. Maybe that's what contributed to her less than cheerful mood for the rest of the trip. She wasn't alone though. Nikki hasn't been the easiest to be around either. When it comes to traveling, make a mental note that if you're looking for a good time, Audra, Nick, and Sharon are the ones you want to be with. When Nick said he wanted Sharon to come on the trip to France because she's great company, he wasn't joking. She seems to be taking it all in with an open mind and encouraging everyone to make the best of situations beyond their control. Of course, Nick wasn't hard to convince. He smelled food, and that became his main focus. As for the rest of the guests who are a bit irritable, maybe they should lighten the mood with a fun game every time Victor says, "Billy boy." It's going to be a long few days for everyone if Nikki and Diane don't ease up soon. Want more details? We got you. Soap Central has the best full lie and R recaps on the internet. You can even go back over 30 years and read every one of them. If you can't wait until the next episode, we have daily spoilers, too. And whatever you do this weekend, do not, seriously, do not forget to read the 2 scoops for some laughs. It's the closest thing to a watching party without actually watching the show. And the best part is, whether you agree or disagree, we want to hear from you. As always, share your comments below. Michelle Stafford was impressed by Y and R going all out for Dumas' party. Dumas' party is underway on The Young and the Restless. While fans are curious about the mystery surrounding the host and the guests, the set and the wardrobes have everyone talking. One person who loves the setup for the Dumas party is actress Michelle Stafford. Aristotle Dumas party is a major event on Y and R. Not only will the mysterious businessman finally be revealed, but there will also be engaging interactions among guests. Since this is one of Y and R's most compelling storylines, the show really went all out for the grand reveal. With the party taking place at Dumas' French chateau, the crew built new sets. Among them was a train set that most of Genoa City used to travel to France. Then there was the garden area of Dumas' mansion, complete with a maze, which guests had to navigate. Aside from the beautiful sets, the wardrobe department also impressed with its fashion choices. With it being summer, many characters wore bright and comfortable clothing. The sets in the wardrobe have generated lots of buzz. While fans have mixed reactions, Stafford loves the aesthetic. On Instagram, the actors praised the crew for their work. Someone on X said I was channeling Fred Flintstone. Ha ha ha. I actually like to think I was Wilma. Stafford captioned a behind-the-scenes photo of the Dumas set. At Mandeline nailed it with all the wardrobe she had to prepare for us. Our set decorators did an amazing job with all the sets. everyone worked very hard on this story. I hope you enjoy. As Dumas' party continues, viewers will see more of the beautiful sets and colorful wardrobe. What Dumas has planned for his guests remains a mystery, but it's going to be one party that Genoa City's elite won't soon forget. The Young and the Restless spoilers indicate that the week of June 16 to 20 will be filled with surprises, as Genoa City's elite head to France to attend a special event hosted by the mysterious mogul Aristotle Dumas. Lily Winters is expected to be at the center of the drama, so when unexpected revelations come to light, how will they affect her? Here are 3 key developments that are sure to shake things up and change her experience while she's in France. With Billy Flynn making his debut this week, all signs point to him being Aristotle Dumas. Moreover, Dumas's true identity is set to be revealed, which will surprise Lily when she learns he is actually her ex-husband and the father of her children, Cain Ashby. Lily will be taken aback by this revelation. Although she has likely had some contact with Cain over the years, their past was marked by misunderstandings, so this news may still come as a shock. Spoilers for the week of June 16 suggest that Dumas's identity won't be the only secret uncovered during his visit to Nice. Amanda Sinclair's connection to Dumas is also expected to come to light. Has Amanda's professional relationship with Cain evolved into something more personal? She seems well informed about his business and emotions. Lily may be quite surprised to discover that her friend and ex-husband have developed a close bond. Finally, it looks like a puzzling mystery will unfold during Dumas' party. Joshua Morrow hinted at this in a cameo video in May, and previous moments have hinted at intriguing developments. Before Damien Cain left for France, his mother, Amy Lewis, had an uneasy feeling after saying goodbye to him. Damien's character often stirs emotions, and his storyline is poised to affect several others. What if something unexpected happens to him? It would be a poignant moment for many, especially for Lily, who cares for him and has been growing closer to him. The Young and the Restless spoilers reveal a new preview clip for summer 2025, focusing on Aristotle Dumas' party. The narration teases puzzles, mysteries, and dramatic twists. At the end, the elusive tycoon prepares to make his grand entrance. Let's explore what's coming up. Some scenes from the preview clip have already aired, including the invitations being sent for Dumas' party. After most guests arrive by train, they meet one of Dumas' assistants. Guests must navigate a challenging maze before reaching the party's main venue. The preview shows Jack Abbott, Diane Jenkins Abbott, and Kyle Abbott entering a room decorated in green and brown, with Jack visibly impressed. As guests progress through the maze, moments of excitement and confusion arise. Billy Abbott and Sally Spectra are seen navigating the maze hand in hand. Elsewhere, Jack and Diane share a joyful embrace, while Phyllis Summers moves quickly in high heels. The preview also shows a close moment between Kyle and Audra Charles. Fans know Audra promised to support Kyle if Victor Newman got them on the guest list. Victor made it happen, and Audra's plan seems to be working well. In one preview scene, Kyle moves closer to Audra in an affectionate moment. Meanwhile, Amanda Sinclair's true connection to Dumas will be revealed. Lily Winters appears visibly anxious as she looks around. Then, at the chateau, a guest calls out for assistance, and others look around in surprise. The final scene shows Dumas watching his guests on monitors. At last, the moment arrives for the mystery to be solved. Dumas announces that it's time to reveal himself. So, who exactly is this man, and why all the puzzles and surprises? Will Victor or Phyllis figure it out? In 1924, a short story called The Most Dangerous Game was published, inspiring a 1932 movie and a 2022 remake. Could The Young and the Restless episode on June 17 be giving us a fresh take on this classic tale? In The 100-Year-Old Tale, the story follows a traveler who arrives on an island. only to become the focus of a general who has grown tired of typical challenges and seeks something more engaging, a challenge of strategy and wit. Now, Jack, Diane, Kyle, and Audra find themselves navigating a complex maze to reach the luncheon where Victor, Nikki, Nick, Sharon, Billy, and Sally are already gathered. Are they being prepared for something special? The mysterious Aristotle Dumas is watching his guests closely through closed-circuit TV. Could this be a game of strategy to him? One where he carefully observes and tests his visitors? He aims to create a calm before an important challenge. One where everyone must use their smarts to navigate the situation as he monitors their progress. So why not include Phyllis in these events? She might say it's because her intelligence is well known, and in any contest of cleverness, she always excels. Dumas may find her brilliance impressive, but perhaps it's simpler than that. Even someone with extensive experience wouldn't want to face her sharp mind in a contest of wits. She can relax and enjoy the moment. Dumas has more pressing matters to attend to, maybe quite literally. Spoilers for the upcoming episode of the CBS soap opera The Young and the Restless, airing June 18, 2025, hint at a quiet moment before major events unfold. Tension is building in Genoa City, as some characters enjoyed brief happiness while challenges loom nearby. The episode explores relationship struggles, bold decisions, and heartfelt conversations. The main focus is on Adam and Chelsea, who share a strong professional moment. But Adam is taking a risk by going against Victor's instructions, which could have serious consequences. Elsewhere, Maria and Tessa face challenges in their relationship, and Daniel turns to his father for support. With several changes on the horizon, this episode sets the stage for significant developments. Recently on The Young and the Restless, Adam decided not to publish negative stories about Billy despite Victor's orders. Chelsea believes Adam made the right choice by standing up for his principles and supports him. On June 18, Adam and Chelsea enjoy a small victory together, though it may not last long. Victor has given Adam a clear deadline, and if Adam doesn't follow through, a conflict is likely. For now, however, Adam can avoid Victor while the latter is away in France and enjoy a calm before the upcoming challenges. Adam and Chelsea's recent success at work brings them closer and strengthens their partnership. They're savoring the moment but may be unaware that things could change soon. If Victor discovers Adam didn't follow his instructions, both their jobs at Newman could be at risk. Losing their positions might also strain their working relationship permanently. Daniel has experienced many emotional ups and downs recently, but now things are starting to stabilize. Still, this sense of peace feels delicate. In Wednesday's episode, Daniel reaches out to his father, Danny, seeking guidance and comfort. Their conversation may not provide clear answers, but it is an important moment for Daniel's personal growth. This father-son talk shows Daniel's efforts to heal, understand himself better, and rebuild family bonds. Maria has been distant since returning from her business trip, and Tessa feels the strain. Though Tessa has tried several times to encourage Maria to open up, she still doesn't know about a difficult encounter Maria experienced. Tessa's patience finally wears thin in the upcoming episode, leading to a serious conversation that could either bring them closer or create distance. She may push Maria to be honest, which could either help heal their relationship or complicate it further. Nate and Audra are one of our favorite couples on The Young and the Restless. Their chemistry has been clear from the start. Nate has encouraged Audra to be open and to express her softer side, but her guard has been up ever since she started working with Victor Newman. Nate wasn't happy to learn that Audra was working for Victor. He had hoped she would find a straightforward, low-stress job without complicated plans. However, Audra seems restless with her current life, and it's noticeable. She still has a strong drive for achievement and success. Nate doesn't know what Victor's expectations are, which include getting closer to Kyle. He's been wondering why Audra's focus on Kyle has intensified lately. She's already been withholding some details, especially regarding her past with Holden, which brings us to the next point. Audra hasn't been completely open about her history with Holden. There's clearly a complicated dynamic between them, and they're not doing much to downplay it. Audra only mentioned to Nate that they dated while living in Los Angeles, but didn't share the full story. Her past with Holden has unsettled Nate. He isn't comfortable with Holden's presence in Genoa City. Holden seems to follow Audra closely, and Nate suspects there's more to their relationship than he's been told, though he's trying not to dwell on it. It seems this relationship is facing some challenges. The first signs of strain are already showing. Audra appears to be risking a good thing with Nate for a beauty brand opportunity that remains under Victor's control. Her upcoming trip to France could mark a turning point, especially if her plan involving Kyle moves forward. We're curious to see if Audra and Nate will be able to navigate these challenges successfully.